here. The last day that the exhibit hall is open for Saturday. There are papers going on. The business owner meeting is going on. But today is the last day that the exhibit hall is going to be open. So join me as I do another walkthrough through the exhibit hall so you get the feel of what it's like to be here.
I'm here in the Guys with Tannin booth, and I've got Louie to talk to. Louie, how's the convention going?
It's going great. We had a good Wednesday night, and since this morning, it's also a lot of people coming in.
Well, excellent. What's going on with TGWT?
We're still expanding every year, adding new distributor and growing the actual AWT members, helping them to explode their sales with our unique technology that allowing people to increase cycles and save on water and energy.
Well, excellent. And I can't help notice, but you sound a little different than everybody else here. Is the accent from Texas, maybe?
You're right.
You guys are in Quebec, right?
Exactly.
We're
in Quebec. But now we got Mr. Dave Ritz based in the USA, so we got an American accent in the team.
Well, awesome. Well, hey, thanks for talking with us.
All right, thanks. Good job, guys.
So here is board member Bonnie Walker and daughter of recent guest Jack Walker. How is your convention going so far?
Oh, it's so much fun. We're having a blast, having a good time.
Awesome. What's the number one thing you're looking forward to this convention?
Meeting new people.
All right.
As a board member now, I'm getting to know more people and it's really nice to see people in the industry, female as well as male, and just learning from everybody, because everybody has a different perspective, especially depending on what region you're from. Everyone has a different way of doing things.
Excellent. Now, I know this is your second year being on the board, getting into your second year. How did you begin your journey to become a board member?
Well, just attending convention, and I really wanted to see what was going on behind the scenes. And the only way to know that is just to dig in and get on the board. And then once you get on the board, you realize how much work is really done on a volunteer basis. And I'm really excited about that, be able to put in my 2 cents.
Well, we are glad you are doing that.
Thank you.
So being a board member, what is the one thing you want the Scaling Up Nation to know?
Volunteer. Step up and volunteer. It's rewarding, and you get to meet a lot of people. And it's fun. We do a lot of fun things.
Well, excellent. Well, thanks for talking with us.
Okay, thank you.
I found friend of show, Jim Lukanich, former guest. How are you, Jim?
I'm freaking fantastic.
Freaking fantastic.
That's
well, you
right.
Can't get any better than that, I hear.
You can't.
So this is not your first rodeo. You've been to millions of these trade shows. Well, not millions, but you've been to a lot. What's your advice for the first-time person here at AWT Convention? So in order for the show to be successful, you actually have to make words come out of your mouth. I'm putting Jim on the spot here. He needs time to think, but he's coming out. I can see it coming out. It's going to be good. Here it comes. What is it, Jim?
It is networking. Make sure you're networking, meeting people, going to as many of the presentations as you can go to, especially the ones that are of interest to you, but even those that are not. There may be something new you learn. Stop at every booth on the trade show floor and meet the people, the vendors that are there and what they have to offer. They may have something unique to offer you that you can use. You may learn something along the way. Of course, I'm a big on the learning thing, right?
You are.
Yes.
And you have a student badge, so you can prove it. What does the student badge mean?
I'm a student of life. Remember, I think last time I spoke with you, I said, always strive to learn something every day.
You did.
So everyone is a student if you strive to learn something every day, right? So that's why I put the student badge
And
on
apparently they make a badge for that.
Yep. Even as old and crusty as I am, I still am a student.
Crusty, I would not say you are. You're still running about 800 miles a day, I think.
800? No, it's 776.2.
No. What did you do today? I know you ran today.
Not yet.
Not yet. What are you going to do?
I will, because I have a race Sunday and I'm sort of in peaking taper mode, I'll probably just go out and run 5 or 6 miles.
Just 5 or 6 miles, yeah. You get that done 5 minutes, come back.
Yep, 5 minutes. 5 minutes. Yep.
So you say networking. That's a very popular answer as I'm walking
Networking.
around and asking people what advice they have. That's scary.
Yep.
What advice do you have to break that ice to start that new relationship?
Well, I think most people here are pretty friendly. So just go up and speak with the person. Where do you work? What's your company do? Obviously, most of us are in the water treatment industry.
Yeah, we all know what we do.
But if they're a vendor, then ask them what products they have to sell, and hopefully the people that are manning the trade show booths, they're here to speak with you. If you're a water treater, so they're going to tell you, and they're going to be happy to tell you. So you don't have to do a whole lot of ice breaking there. Just go in and introduce yourself, and let the conversation go where it may go.
Yeah, because everybody else is here to network.
Yep.
So if you're coming up and talking to them, you each are getting your goals met.
Sure. And being that you're here in Grand Rapids, and it's one of the beer cities in the U.S., probably talk about beer.
All right.
Because there's nothing better than beer. Right?
Or just get some liquid courage in you and go for it.
Sure, absolutely. But open up. Don't be afraid to talk to people. A lot of people are shy. Don't be shy.
Well,
right?
Awesome. Well, I appreciate you not being shy and coming up
Right.
and saying, yeah, I'll let you interview me, and I'll see you around the show.
Yeah, I will see you too. Where's my T-shirt? Where's my shirt?
So here's Tom Tenney of Lakewood Instruments. And Tom, I got to tell you, people, the Scaling Up Nation, loved our episode, and they all want you to come back and do some higher level troubleshooting. What do you think?
I think that'd be a good idea. That was fun. The interaction, I've gotten a lot of feedback on it as well. So good information. I think we did good questions, and the answers were just right for like you were saying, that level of we wanted to keep it straight ahead. But yeah, if we can do sort of a more advanced setup, yeah, I'd love to do that. That'd be awesome.
Well, awesome. And I will tell you that more and more people are now putting paper clips in their test kit because of you.
The paper tip is my favorite tool. And I'm glad for that. There are a lot of simple fixes and simple things that we've learned over time. And if we can just keep imparting that, turning on the old light bulb out in the field, that's a win for everybody. So.
Awesome. Well, I know that show has saved several people a lot of time and a lot of agony out in the field.
I think one of them standing behind us, I think he actually used a couple of tricks he learned from the show and from the AWT training when he got back to some sites. So kind of cool.
I think a lot of people have. So, but here at Lakewood Instruments, tell us what's going on new for 2017, 2018.
We're just continuing the product line as far as the Nexus system goes for the remote access and the BACnet interface. Trying to stay aboard with that, and also the Model 1575 where we're doing the PTSA and the 4 to 20 ends on that. So, just reliable controllers, spitting them out year after year and doing what we're supposed to do. That's what we do.
Awesome. And the Blackmore equation still working for you?
The Blackmore equation is awesome. And it's really cool when I show people the actual equation, which, by the way, folks, I took from Trace's training, and I asked him, I said, can I put that in my controller? Because people ask me all the time where to do the setting, and I go, how would I know? I don't know. But using the equation, they punch in their numbers, and it tells them where to run their BioSite program. So it's incorporated. Trace wanted a picture and a trophy in the display. All we did was put the Blackmore in there, but it is the Blackmore equation. It is darn handy. So,
well, I love you for it, and thanks so much for coming on and talking with us.
All right, thanks, Trace. We'll talk to you later.
I'm here with Jeff Diak of Pixis, and tell us what's going on this year.
Well, we're adding some new innovative products to our portfolio. The most recent addition is our Bluetooth online corrosion sensor, which will enable you to install LPR corrosion sensors in remote locations of your facility without any hard wiring back to your control device. Communication's done by Bluetooth to a gateway device, up to 4 devices per gateway, and from the gateway can be sent directly to your controller of any type as a 4 to 20 analog output, or can be connected to a modem for upload into your cloud management system.
Sounds awesome. Now, you got some handheld meters as well. You were just showing me a pretty cool one. Why don't you tell us a little bit about that?
Well, we have a variety of handhelds stemming from low cost, which is fluorescence only. If you're interested in measuring PTSA for cooling water or RO feed water, we have a device called the SP350. Comes at a very low cost. Enables you to do a handheld test for the fluorescent tracer. It has an upper scale limit of 300 ppb. and it has the technology that Pyxis is proprietary to Pyxis, which accommodates for both contamination of color and turbidity, eliminating those interferences with the true fluorescent tracer. We have a combination product called the 380, which is both PTSA and fluorescein. Then we have a all-in-one product called the SP700, which is a combination of pH, conductivity, ORP, temperature, PTSA, and fluorescein, all in one device.
Does it all for you.
Yeah, and all of our handhelds are wireless Bluetooth enabled. So coupled with our online probes, they enable you to run the diagnostics with the handheld and then wirelessly calibrate the probe in line without having to manipulate the controller.
Awesome, saving people some time.
That's right. That's what it's about.
Well, awesome. Well, thanks for talking with us. So I just found Bob Lee, past president and longtime AWT member. How are you, Bob?
Trace, I'm very busy right now. Is there something I can do for you?
Well, you can talk to the Scaling Up Nation. Now, I understand that you're from Tampa, and we just had a hurricane come through. So how are things down there?
You know, we did very well, very, very lucky. We had no damage to the home. Didn't even lose power at our house. I was very fortunate. And the company's still in good shape. The employees still are without power. But we got enough squared away that I was able to make it up to the convention.
A little late, but you got here.
Got here very early this morning, about 1 a.m.
Wow. So I know you have been to these things many times. There are a lot of people here that are here for their first time. What advice do you have for them?
That's a good question, because I know the first few times I came, I just stood around. I knew one guy. I knew Uncle John. So he saw a lot of me the first few conventions. But what happened to me is I started getting involved with a committee, go to a committee meeting. Even if you don't know what you want to do or how you can help, go in there. You can get involved with the committee. You'll meet some people, and that's the key, just kind of meeting people. And then that leads into another introduction, into another introduction. All of a sudden, you know people, you can walk by and say, hey. I think that's key. That's what worked for me.
Well, that's great advice. And I also know that you try to get ideas for your company for the upcoming year every time you come to the Association of Water Technologies convention. What's the one thing that makes this convention awesome that you're looking for?
Trace, that's a very difficult question. I wish I'd have had that question in advance.
Where would the fun in that be?
I know. Well, we know we've got some vendors we want to go by and see. I think the networking part of it for me, though, is the most important part because there's so many questions you can ask fellow water treaters that you just can't do anywhere else. So that would be my answer. And I'm sticking to it.
Well, I think that's an excellent answer, and I also think that's the top answer that everybody has been giving me. So thanks so much for talking with us.
Trace, my pleasure. Good luck.
Brandon Punt, friend of Scaling Up, loyal listener. How's your convention going?
It's going pretty well. Thanks for asking.
Absolutely. So what's your one thing that you're looking for at this convention?
You know, I don't think I could probably narrow it down to just one. I've been to quite a few conventions over the years, and looking for new technology for sure, but also looking to make connections with some new vendors.
Excellent. So you've been here several times, not your first convention. For somebody who is here for the first time, what advice do you have for them?
That's tough because it can be very overwhelming for sure. But I know you've said it before, you know, a lot of things AWT related are, you know, comparable to drinking from a fire hose, to use your words, and the convention is no different. So, you know, take notes, meet people, and, you know, do the best you can, and then do better next time.
There you go. Always, continuous improvement.
Right.
So any ideas for the show? What do you want to hear coming up on Scaling Up?
Man, I'd have to think about it. I know we've got Mark Lewis over here, and, you know, he's a wealth of knowledge.
That's what he says.
He's a good guy, too. So,
that's what he says too.
You know, I mean, if you believe that, he might be a good person to have on the show. But honestly, there's probably a whole host of different topics that we could talk about. I know some of my guys have put together some suggestions, so I'll probably have to email you a couple of things that we've come up with that they'd like to hear too.
All right. Well, thanks for stopping by and talking with us.
Absolutely. Thanks for having me.
I'm here with Ron Anger of Buckman Labs, and what's going on this year with Buckman?
Well, we get some new products, enzymes, focusing on different types of water treatment. We're highly focused on trying to meet the needs of our customers by finding out what their gaps are and their needs are, and then filling them with a product that can really meet their needs and their customers' needs.
Well, awesome. Well, thanks for talking with me.
You're welcome.
So walking around, found another former Scaling Up host guest, Connor Parrish. How you doing, man?
I'm doing well. How are you?
Doing excellent. So I've asked people to try to prepare themselves for the convention. There's so much going on. How have you prepared yourself for this year's convention?
You know, I just go through the app. The app is an important piece. I go through and just look at the schedule and figure out what I guess sessions I want to attend, and then I look up and do some pre-reading for it, make sure I have all my questions in place that I want to make sure I bombard the people with, so I can take care and make sure I get everything addressed that I'm hoping to get addressed.
Well, excellent. And then what are you hoping to get out of this year's convention?
You know, this year is more just kind of seeing what's new in the industry. We've got some partnerships now that we've formed with some of the vendors, so looking to just build the relationships with them and then help them with their booths. We work with the Odyssey on the polyamines and a few other ones, so just hoping to just reach out and see what kind of interest there is in our market.
Well, awesome. Any advice to somebody who's just attending the convention for the first time this year?
Don't be shy. It's hard sometimes to interject into a group that seems like everyone's friends and they're all talking, but I promise everyone's going to be nice. Everyone here is pretty friendly.
Awesome advice. Well, thanks for stopping by and talking with us.
Awesome. Thanks, Trace.
So I had the honor last night of speaking with the 5th female CWT and the first Canadian CWT. And as I was walking around the hall, I was approached by some members of the Women of Water. So we are going to turn the Scaling Up Nation over to the Women of Water.
Thank you so much. As we like to say it, we call ourselves Wonders of Water. And now, being part of such a unique community, of course, is a collaborative community. But the reason why I partake, I'm Paul Genet from TGWT, is Pam Simmons, and she's right here with me. And Pam is really, you introduced me to the Women of Water, and I want to officially thank you. And being in the hands of Bonnie Randall this year, it's all a burst of creativity and a profound statement that women are here to stay in the water industry. So Pam, what have you got to say about that?
Well, I was very fortunate to become involved in AWT because of Trace Blackmore, because he is a customer, and he got me involved with the Marketing Communications Committee, and I've been involved at a committee level ever since, and it's been wonderful to meet new people and become more involved in the association. It's made it much more worthwhile. Women of Water started 9 years ago, I believe, Hollywood, Florida, and I was invited to participate by Cindy Mitchell, and I don't believe she's here this year. So the Women of Water has really morphed into quite a large association group within the AWT.
Yes, and I guess we're en route towards a 10th anniversary, so be ready to celebrate with us next year.
Well, awesome. Thanks so much for telling the audience about Women of Water. And if somebody is listening who is a Woman of Water but not a member of your group, how do they get involved?
All they have to do is contact the AWT Association.
Bonnie Randall.
Yes. Heidi Zimmerman, Pam
Yes.
Simmons. Mm-hmm. Just come and approach any of us, and we're happy to get you involved.
So let somebody know, and you're a member of the Women of Water. You just have to be a woman. Absolutely. All right.
And you can say, wow, all together.
Thanks, guys. Here with Chris Golden of Taylor Technologies and future guest on Scaling Up. How's the convention going so far, Chris?
I think the traffic has been great. We haven't had enormous amount of people come by, but let's try this again.
I'm editing.
Okay. But the conversation has been quality, not quantity, and that's more important. I don't need a bunch of people coming by, shaking hands, saying, hey, what's going on? But we really get into some really good quality conversations I really feel will lead to more relationships for Taylor Technologies.
Well, that's great. So what are some of the new things that Taylor's offering this year?
Well, new things that Taylor's offering right now. One of the newest things is we've had our colorimeter out for a little while, and we're offering a lease on our colorimeter. And this is like really an amazing thing because a lot of people, they look at the colorimeter, this is exactly what I want, but boy, that little over $1,000 price tag, that's a little much. Well, what we're offering is a 4-year lease on the colorimeter, 48 months at less than $25 per month for the colorimeter. And just about everybody can afford $25 for a colorimeter per month. It's a no-brainer.
Well, awesome. Well, appreciate you talking with us and hope you have a good rest of the convention.
Oh, thanks, Trace. You too.
I'm here with LinkedIn Master James McDonald and recent guest on Scaling Up. It hasn't aired yet, but getting ready to come out. How are you?
I'm doing fine. How are you, Trace?
I'm doing great. Now, you have been to many of these conventions. There's a lot of people here that have just started today. This is the first time they've ever been here. What advice do you have for them?
Don't be shy. Ask questions. Walk up to anyone and say hi.
Everybody's nice here.
Everybody's nice here.
And everybody knows what you do.
Everybody knows what you do. You could talk to someone who knows what you do. Your family don't know. Your customers may not entirely know. Your classmates from college don't know. But these people know.
So you've been to dozens of these. What is the one thing that you're looking for at this convention?
For me, I'm looking for hooking up with my old friends, my old colleagues, for learning what's new out there from our vendors and learning from the presentations what new technology may be on the horizon.
All right. What new stories have you written?
What news stories have I written? Well, I'm working on my next Detective H2O article. Not going to release what it is yet, but that's my next story.
All right. Well, I enjoyed the one that you sent me. Okay. So, matter of fact, when I release your interview, I'll make sure that the Scaling Up audience knows where to find those because I thought it was awesome.
Cool.
Thanks for chatting with us.
Okay. Thank you, Trace.
I'm with John Mearshma of Walchem. What's going on new at Walchem this year?
Well, Walchem is a Milwaukee company. Milwaukee is a global business focused on fluid handling, control, monitoring, and machine-to-machine communications. The water treatment market is a major market for us globally. In our Walchem business in North America, our goal is to listen to all of you, our partners at AWT, understand what you need, and match that to all of our in-house technologies in a way to create solutions that you perceive as valuable to you. We invest about 5 to 7% of our sales every year on new product development as well as enhancements to our current product, so enhancing or reinvesting in the business is very important to us. In the last few years, we have begun to launch a new generation of controllers. They're new literally from the ground up, all new hardware, software, and manufacturing technology. So we deliver a tremendous amount of features and benefits at what we consider to be a very good price point. New in that they are a truly global unit, all designed and built in the U.S., but truly a global controller. And really designed to accommodate a very wide range of water treatment applications. A few years ago, we launched the W100, our first new controller in that series, and also our first entry-level controller. Next, we launched the W600, replacing our popular W400 line of controllers. And the W600 was our first communicating mid-range controller. And here this week, we're excited to launch our W900 controller. The W900 is our high-end controller. The key word with the W900 is really flexibility. And as you saw a minute ago, in the modular, simple, very innovative design, users can swap out a number of input and output cards supplied by Walchem in such a way as to enable the user to address any number of water treatment challenges. I haven't actually counted the number of input and output card combinations, but I know already from talking to people here this week that people will do amazing things with the W900 that we haven't ever thought of yet. So we're excited to be here and present the W900. We're honored to be part of the AWT family, and we thank you for this opportunity.
Well, absolutely, and thanks for chatting with us. Well, Janet Stout is at AWT, friend of the Scaling Up Nation. Janet Stout, how are you?
Oh, I'm so happy to be here, and especially to see you, Trace.
Well, you were such a fun interview to do. I can't wait to do another one. I hope that you agree to come back on.
And that was episode 9. Yes, I would love to do another one.
And, of course, plugging the episode that you were on. I love it.
Well, we did have such a wonderful time, and I think what was most important is the valuable information that you provided, so it was really great.
Well, I get emails from people that listen to the show, and I have received so many positive emails about people learning about Legionella from the show that we did. So thank you for coming on.
Oh, you're so welcome. And there's so much to learn, and we only touched really the tip of the iceberg. So there's much more to do. So I look forward to doing another episode.
All right, more to come. But now we're here to talk about you, and SPL is here at 2017 AWT Convention. So what's going on with SPL this year?
So Special Pathogens Laboratory, SPL, our tagline is more than a lab. So what we do is the Legionella testing and waterborne pathogens testing. And people need to know that Center for Medicare and Medicaid Services came out, and it's not just Legionella, it's other waterborne pathogens, and so we do that testing. But we also have the consulting side, SPL Consulting Services. And what we're demoing here today and throughout the show are 2 software programs, and these are offered to our water treatment professional affiliates. So we have an affiliate program, and we have what's called LegiMapper, and we're really excited about that. It's a flow diagram generating tool that makes it easy for the water treatment professional to make those flow diagrams that are required by ASHRAE Standard 188. And in fact, the CMS memo says follow Standard 188, which includes process flow diagrams. So I want to make sure that all the AWT folks come and see the LegiMapper flow diagram program. And then we're also helping people to have a centralized portal for all of their testing information and for their water management team to come together at one place. And so we have that as well, and we're demonstrating that. So I think that's the exciting thing that we're doing here at AWT this year.
Well, awesome. Well, thanks so much for talking with us, and thanks so much for making such a complex topic so much easier to understand.
Oh, my pleasure. And I'm giving 2 talks, one on Friday and one on Saturday. Come and see me.
Awesome. Thanks so much.
Well, folks, you have heard from many people that the time for sleep is not during the AWT convention. I got to tell you, I am tired from walking up and down the exhibit hall, but I'm glad I did. I've got a lot of good information. I, of course, was prepared for my one thing. I think I've got about 8 things to take back from my company. I've got a lot of new contacts. I've met a lot of new friends. I've met a lot of people that enjoy listening to the Scaling Up podcast. I thank you for that. So let me know what you think of this special convention episode. Now, the convention's not over yet. There's another day. We do have papers tomorrow. And it's very difficult for me to, ask questions and record them during the actual papers. So what I'm going to try to do is take some of the more popular papers, and when I say papers, I mean the actual talks that are going on in between when the exhibit hall's open, and bring them on the show so we can talk about exactly what they were talking about this year, but we're going to do it on Scaling Up. So be patient with me. I'm going to try to get them scheduled, and I hope you see the value of coming to the AWT. And if you have the opportunity to come to next year's show, which is going to be in Orlando, I think you need to start thinking about that now, making arrangements, because as you see, there's so much going on here. And I got to tell you, I'm supercharged for next year because I came this year. And I want to thank you for listening to me and keep listening to Scaling.